Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the Champions League Watch-Along Live on the Sports Corner. How are we all doing today? I hope you're doing fantastically well. We've got two brilliant matches coming up today in the Champions League. Atalanta taking on Real Madrid alongside Gladbach taking on Man City. And it's the games that we've been both excited about. And joining me, he's a massive Gladbach fan. He's hoping that the German side can win tonight. It is Mr. KL. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm in a Hull City shirt, but by proxy, I am supporting Gladbach. They're my German team. I'm nervous, Josh. I'm excited. I'm all of the above, and I'm just ready to get into some game because a lot of people have Man City as their favourites. So you don't know.
They do indeed. It's going to be a great game tonight. And of course, there is another game going on as well. Atalanta taking on Real Madrid. Looking forward to this one tonight. Real Madrid have only got 11 first-team players available for this match. So I think this one could be quite an interesting one. So before the games do kick off, should we quickly go through the lineups before kick-off in about 2 minutes' time?
Yeah, we might as well go through what's left of Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much left of them, to be fair. But the first game I've picked up, of course, is the Gladbach-Manchester City game. And as you can see on the screen, this is the team that is going to be playing for Gladbach today. Real mixture of players. And you said, of course, could be a narrow formation today for Gladbach.
Yeah, I think this is a formation that allows so much flexibility for this Gladbach side. I've just seen on the lineup here they've got Zakaria at centre mid, perfectly fine. But if they want to go narrow, drop Zakaria into the midfield and move Hoffman to the cam position. They could go wide, move Zakaria right, move Hoffman left, 4-4-2. So much flexibility. I think they're trying to keep Man City guessing whilst having that defensive stability of another centre-half. There's some interesting players, obviously not included. Marcus Thuram, I think, would be the one that most people recognise as kind of a shocker not to be in there, but maybe it's more of a contain than attack straight away for this Gladbach. Get through the first 20 so minutes, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, you can look at a few of the players as well who could come onto the pitch. And Bolo being another one of those players, I think, which not necessarily a surprise he's not playing, but a player who could make a difference in this match depending on what happens within the first kind of 45 minutes or so if needed.
Yeah. A player that affects my heart rate massively because he can be so good and so bad. Yeah, I think I was talking the other day and he's one of them players that I kind of just want to peer through my eyes just to see what he'll do next. But it's one of them. He can make an impact off the bench, much like Hannes Wolf. I think he'll be an interesting player to come on. And Valentin Lazaro's got a scorpion kick in him. Why not?
He did, and that was the last time we watched a game, isn't it? When we watched in Lazaro, I think, got the scorpion kick, which is
when we both watched Gladbach or had a game on where we were there and Gladbach was on. Yeah,
good times. And talk about good times for Manchester City right now. You can see, of course, on the screen, the Manchester City side, 18 games unbeaten now. A few players not in the side. Aguero, De Bruyne on the bench. Of course, they've both been out for a little bit of time, so coming back. But up top today, Bernardo Silva, Jesus and Sterling. For Gladbach, Kieran, it's going to be a tough job tonight to play against them.
Yeah, it's going to be containing. I think Raheem Sterling's going to be the one I'm most worried about, but also in that midfield. Got to win that midfield battle. You cannot allow Gundogan to pull strings in there, which is what he's going to do. But I'm a big fan of Christoph Kremer. I'm hoping he can kind of be that man in front of the back four, breaking up Man City's attacks. And there's just a lot of talent on show, but it's as they've been saying all week, 18 games unbeaten. Great. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's a tough team to face right now, Manchester City. But let's have a quick look at the other game. Games have just kicked off, of course, so we'll update you with the scores and everything that goes on in the meantime. Now, Atalanta have got an awful thing where a lot of clubs are doing it these days where, they put the videos out and the kind of 60-second long clips of the team lineup. I don't want that. I just want to see a picture of who's playing and not like an individual player walking out.
Yeah, Hull do that. It's amazing. And they come out and they do like a little fist pump or something. Next on to the next one.
Which for the average person, it's all right. But when I'm trying to get the lineups and have to sit there watching each individual player walk out across the arms or do a dance or something, it's annoying. I just want to see the teams. So I've just had to put it together. 3-4-1-2 tonight for Atalanta. Glini's in goal, back three of Toloi, Romero, Jim City. Midfield four going to be a very tough midfield four to face off against. Robin Gosens and Joachim Mahel as the two full-back/wide midfielders, with Remo Freuler and Martin Deruna as the two midfielders. Mateo Pessina being an interesting player, of course, the replacement for Alejandro Gomez. He's coming in the cam spot. And then up top, the two Colombians, probably the two best Colombian forwards right now, Duvan Zapata and Luis Muriel. And then, of course, on the bench, Josip Ilicic, a player last season who was banging in the goals, hasn't really been getting into the lineup recently, which is crazy.
No, I was going to say to you, the big shock I can see on the bench, I would say Palomino, but the centre-backs are very interchangeable at Atalanta. There's no real standout apart from Christian Romero, I think is a very talented youngster. But apart from that, I think it's kind of what you'd expect with some decent players off the bench, a bit of creativity from maybe Moranchuk or Malinovsky maybe.
Yeah, there's a few good players on there that could maybe come on at some point and make a difference in the match. And then, as we said before, it is a little bit of a depleted squad tonight for Real Madrid. You can see on the bench there are no real recognisable players apart from Mariano and, if you do know about him, of course, Lunin. But apart from that, you can see the lineup today. It's a 4-3-1-2 from Real Madrid. Technically, we could have a false 9 tonight. Isco as a false 9, which I like that. For a player that doesn't play much for Real Madrid, this is a massive opportunity for Isco tonight to show what he can do at Real Madrid, because we know over the last couple of years he's not necessarily been in favour, has it?
No. I saw the picture recently of him with the car, and people were taking the mick out of his, massive beard that he's got, and apparently he's been replaced by Hagrid. But I tell you what, you look at that team, Josh, and I don't know about you, it reminds me of if FM didn't have the rights to Real Madrid. And the bench is playing with the made up, and no one knows them. And that's what it looks like to me. But it'll be interesting because it's still a very talented starting 11. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely. There's some really good players in that starting 11. But I think the worry for Real Madrid tonight is going to be if they don't get a good result in this game, or, in the first 45 minutes, things don't get going, necessarily speaking, it's going to be quite tough for somebody to come off the bench and do as good of a job. I mean, the only player, as I said, that could maybe come on is someone like Mariano Diaz.
Yeah. He's obviously he probably not had his best years at Real Madrid. He's more known for his time at Lyon and kind of things like that. But it'd be nice for him to make a name for himself in a game like that when they can't really rely on anybody else. Yeah,
exactly. It's a big moment for a lot of these players on the pitch. Let's have a quick look at some of your comments. Carl, anybody says, hey all, how are we? Really want Gladbach to thrash City, but a 3-0 will do.
Yeah, 3-0 is enough for me. Do you know what? Honestly, Kyle, 1-0's enough for me.
I was going to say, I think 1-0 would be good enough for you right now. Anything but apart from a City win, and you'll be buzzing tonight.
Oh, I'd just make it a competitive second leg. That's I know it's a bit pessimistic, but with the form of the two teams couldn't be more opposite at this moment. Gladbach not impressed in recent weeks. They lost to Mainz, drew with Wolfsburg in a dull 0-0. They lost to I can't remember who they lost to before that, but not Cologne in the derby. So yeah, just poor recently since Rosa decided he was going to Dortmund and decided to tell everyone he was going to Dortmund.
World's worst cast secret, and I'll come back to that actually because I think that'll be interesting.
Oh, well got across Matthias Ginter, good sliding tackle. Sorry, Josh, I had to cut you off there.
No, it's all right because I was about to cut you off then and say Vinicius Junior was nearly in as well, but goalkeeper got there in the end.
It's all right. Must have both got chances. I'll tell you what, Josh. I know we're not on Fashion Watch. Pep Guardiola's got a nice trench coat with Man City's badge imprinted on it at the back. It's really strange fashion choice, but it looks all right, I guess.
Do you know what? He changes, and I've noticed this, and it seems to always be in the Champions League. He changes up his attire every single week because I can remember the Tottenham City game where he had the jacket on. Then we've seen him before in the waistcoat and the tie, and now he's going for the hoodies and stuff. He changes his kind of attire up every week, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say he gave it the real casual vibe, but sometimes he looked like he's going for a job interview. And today he's gone for a sleek trench coat. I do like a trench coat, but I don't know about the logo on the back as Sommer's caught in no man's land and he clears it straight to Gundogan. They're going backwards, so I won't say anything yet, but Gladbach trying to play out from the back, City not allowing it at all.
No. And any time you're going to say tonight, Gladbach trying to play out from the back, I'm going to get nervous regardless of how good they are or not because you know me. I'm not going to say it again. I hate it. Bernaldo's put send your respects to Atalanta's Willy Bracciano today.
Yeah.
Of course, big situation with that. They had a minute's silence before the game started, which is of course a real shame. But hopefully tonight, as sad as a situation like that has happened, it might help to spur these players on in respect to Willy Bracciano to try and get a result out there for him. Mimi, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. He's put hi. Gladbach to surprise Man City and win.
Come on.
Everybody wants Gladbach to win tonight. And then
This is it.
Chris has gone down the different route, Kieran. He's put, hi lads, hope you're well. Welcome, Chris, as always, buddy. And my predictions, Atalanta 3-2 Real Madrid. But he's gone Gladbach to lose to Man City.
That's just... And you know what? To be fair, I could see both of them results, especially in your game, Josh, because I think the fact that... I think... Personally, we gave Atalanta a really good chance of going through because of the way Real Madrid played in the group. But
I said they were going to win it.
I don't know about the tournament, but I fancy them maybe getting past Real Madrid. But with only 11 fit players, their chances will have gone up, surely, because of just the way things have fallen. It's a bit unfortunate for Real Madrid, but we don't care.
The thing is, it's so detrimental in this game tonight that Atalanta do take advantage because obviously in a few weeks' time they're going to be going to Spain to play this match, which is always going to be a bit of a nervous situation, playing at the Santiago Bernabeu. But if they can come out tonight...
Are they back there yet? Or are they still at that crappy training ground?
Oh, that's a fair point, actually. They might still be at that training ground. So in that respect, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it's not really fearful, I'll be honest. It looks...
No.
It's not great, but still, it's a home ground, I guess.
I think, like Atalanta as well, they have to look at what happened in the group. And, we saw Shakhtar win twice, which I don't think anybody expected to happen. Nope. And I think they need to take some of that Shakhtar inspiration and take it into this game because Real Madrid right now, as much as, they're doing all right in the Liga, this is not the Real Madrid of old. And specifically tonight, it's not even the Real Madrid of this season because they haven't got somebody like Benzema who can put the ball in the back of the net.
No, it's definitely not. It's really kind of a makeshift Real Madrid squad. There's obviously the players you'll usually see, your Varane, your Ferland Mendy of recent years that are always in there, but overall, it's not what you'd expect from kind of a Real Madrid starting 11 because they've been known for so long as such a powerhouse, and it's just not the same anymore.
The thing is, as well, with the older Real Madrid teams, if you let's say you had Benzema, you always had a decent substitute who could come on and replace him. So you'd have someone like a Higuain or something that could come on and make a difference. This Real Madrid team now, if you take one of those players out and swap them, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody nowhere near as good enough standard-wise to the starting player in the team. So when I look and see Asensio and Vinny Jr. up top, I really don't think, they're going to bag goals tonight. They're saying that. There's a free kick just outside the box, which Cruz has lobbed in, and it's cleared away in the end. And I thought I was going to make myself eat my own words up then.
No, but I understand what you mean because Vinny Jr. is a player that probably can be something. Obviously, he's still a few years away from his prime, but they've got him behind here. Bernardo Silva drills across him. They've done a couple of them now, but Elvedi's equal to it, and it's really been all Man City so far. Gladbach need to get a foot on the ball, which they have now, but they've got to try and hit on the counter. It's a 3v4, Newhouse through the middle. It's poor, Josh. Come back in. It's poor.
We need some goals. I've got bets on as well. I want some money tonight. Be good to have that. But Real Madrid are going to come forward. Vinicius Junior on the left wing. It is a false 9 Isco, which I'm very excited to watch tonight to see how he does. Ferland Mendy tries to play a ball to Vinny Junior, doesn't get to him in the end. And Real Madrid's going to take the time to get the attack going here.
Well, Isco's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he's not quite... I remember... He got frozen out for a season. Then the season after was unbeatable. And then, since then, hasn't really lived up to the expectations. Because I remember he was linked to this Man City team.
Yeah, he's been linked to, God knows how many clubs in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It seems to be every transfer window that comes around is linked somewhere. And I think there is a good player inside of there. I think, Isco, when he was at Malaga and even when he first joined Real Madrid, great player to watch. But if there's one tendency with Real Madrid, once your confidence drops, it's very hard at a club like Real Madrid to ever get back.
Yeah, and sometimes even good performances aren't enough, which seems like such a strange thing to say, but we've seen many a player that has done so much for Real Madrid, but has either not been given the time or just gets kind of frozen out, which is just it's one of them type clubs. They demand elite at all times, but the squad for me at the moment isn't elite. It's a good squad. I don't see them winning this tournament. I just don't think they're good enough.
It's a good squad with a real mix of average players. I think there's so many players you look at. Let's not take into account this team tonight because there are a few players that are in there would probably wouldn't be had there been like a fully fit squad. But players like Vasquez, for example, has been playing a lot this season and he's been forced to. But realistically, he's probably good enough for maybe a mid-table championship, Premier League club.
Yeah,
at best.
Yeah, or maybe the bench of a decent team, but
yeah,
I don't see him starting week in week. Obviously, he's playing right back, which fair play to him. Had to learn a new position to get into the team this year, and he's done an okay job. To be fair, he's no Carvajal because Carvajal's a very good player, but it's a bit like Marco Asensio. He's okay. He's not going to pull up any trees or anything like that.
No, exactly. And I guess, in this time right now, you've got to make do with what you've got. But I think Real Madrid are a long, long way away, as you said, from being that club that everybody looks at as a contender to win this, because there's just other clubs out there that I still think would do a better job over Real Madrid. Juventus, probably one of them, PSG, obviously Bayern Munich, City. Yeah. Do you know what? I'd even put Liverpool up there still, even with their injuries. I still think on their very best day, Liverpool could beat them. Yeah.
I think we talked about it the other night, not on stream or anything, but the age of Spanish football dominating, we've not even seen. And obviously, surprisingly, last night, Atletico Madrid couldn't pull out the victory.
Well, of course they couldn't, could they?
No. Yeah, I didn't even think when I mentioned it that we would get a Giroud reference within 15 minutes.
Honestly, unbelievable. It makes me wish I did that game.
Oh my God, last-ditch challenge by Remy Bensebaini. And Sterling was in again in behind.
Goalkeeper's out. Oh, Galini's a bit lucky there. I mean, Vinny Jr.'s just had a boot to the stomach. Referee's played on in the end.
I like how we have chances at the same time.
It's great. I think we've had it twice now, haven't we, where we've had chances at the same point.
And there's nothing else that happened during this midpoint where we were just randomly talking, and then the moment something happened. But it's been lots of last ditch from Gladbach, I'll be honest. Even within 15 minutes, they need saving tackles, and that's a terrible kick out. It's Gabriel Jesus, Sterling, twinkle toes, tackled again, Gundogan. I don't know what's going on. It's out for now. Literally that has just epitomised what I said. Everything is breathless, last minute, clear the ball, and I don't know how long they can play like this. Trying to play out from the back, Ginter clears it, but there's a Man City player first to the ball.
It's crazy right now. I've got to say, I think Galini is a very, very lucky man that had he have not connected worse, I think he could have been sent off for that. I really do. He comes out of his goal. I think it was Romero who was close by. I think a bit of miscommunication, that's why he came out. Did get a slight touch on Vinny, but he wasn't enough for it to be anything malicious. But I think had he have got a worse touch on Vinny Jr. there, I do genuinely think he probably would have been sent off for that because his foot was high. And to get him in the chest, I'm surprised the referee didn't call it back for a free kick or anything in the end.
No.
But this game so far, first 15 minutes, has been exactly how I expected it to pan out. End-to-end football. Both teams have a good start to this match. And I'm hoping maybe the next 5 or 10 minutes we get that first goal to really kickstart this game.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, similarly to you, it's been a half I could kind of see coming with Man City dominating all the ball. I'm a bit surprised Gladbach haven't had a little bit more about them. They've not really threatened. They've gone for a few long balls over the back of the City defence, but Hoffman was offside. And this is maybe a chance where I think, later in the game, if this stays 0-0 and they bring on Mbolo and Thuram, that long ball can probably be more effective with them rather than the likes of Jonas Hoffman and Gladbach. Again, Josh, you'd hate watching this game. It is like, genuinely, I'm on edge every time one of the centre-backs gets the ball.
No, honestly, I'd be there screaming about, stop playing out from the back. It's irritating. I hate it. Honestly, it's a nightmare.
Single, play the long ball. No, Edison's a sweeper keeper. Go away, Edison.
Thought we were going to have a big chance there. Just have a quick look at the comments because there's a lot of you guys putting stuff in. Don't forget, send us all questions throughout the night. We always like a few questions to be asked. Reese, how you doing, buddies? Put yo boys. How we doing? Not too bad so far.
So far,
yes. Oh, saying that, so far, referee I think is just given a penalty and a red card. He's off. Well, I was going to say I thought we were going to get a red card earlier. Red card for Atalanta. They're down to 10 men and a penalty given. Gasperini, he's laughing. I'm pretty sure he's laughing at the decision.
Liner, square it to player. No, Kyle Walker got back.
Wait, is that going to be another red card? No, he's put the card back in his pocket. Raymond Froller's off. Now I'm going to look back at this again. Vinny Junior's. Do you know what? You cannot complain in that situation. I think Vinny Junior would have been one-on-one with the keeper. Freuler kicks out. He goes down. Referee has no decision but to give a red card. And as much as Gasperini sat there laughing right now, I think he's probably laughing, thinking, shit, what have we just done here?
Yeah, and this is the thing. You said it was probably Atalanta's best chance. That's the last thing you needed.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be a penalty now as well. Actually, no, I think it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, there was a big chance, Josh, annoyingly, while she was trying to explain the penalty. And it was the first time that they broke the line, and Liner went for the squared through ball to Plea, but it's Kyle Walker's recovery speed just gets there in front of him.
Well, Freuler still stood just at the outside of the stadium. I think he was expecting the referee to go to VAR. He's not bothered, and I don't know why he would anyway to check it.
Yeah.
Well, I asked for a bit of something to kickstart this game. We've got the red card, and Real Madrid now. It's role reversal, isn't it? Real Madrid have got to go now and bag a few goals here and kill this tie off.
In which it's what we said. It's exactly what. And great last ditch tackle by Ruben Dias. Gladbach poured a few men forward. They need to watch out for the counter. Is it a good penalty? Oh.
No, it wasn't a penalty in the end. It was giving us a free kick.
Oh.
I think that's what a lot of the decision was about, whether it was giving us a penalty or not. They are going to make a change instantly, and I think Pasalic is coming on. So somebody's going to be very unlucky to come off here with 20 minutes. Maybe
Pessina or one of the two strikers, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's probably going to be Pessina who comes off, although they're coming forward here. Atalanta, ball played into Duvan Zapata. He's inside the box, but his touch is just too heavy, and they're calling for a penalty now themselves. Referees waved it away. Lively won this one. I still don't think Atalanta are out of this, even with 10 men. They're just one of those sides.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot harder now.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, for Atalanta? They've got to they'll have to pick their moments. It's what you said earlier, like they'll have to go for it tonight. Now they're going to have to be a bit more cautious and not go kind of balls to the wall, for less of a phrase.
I was saying that. Muriel's coming forward. Lovely ball to Gosens. He's inside the box. Play towards Zapata. Oh! And Mihail, he gets a touch in the box, and I thought he was going to hit it first time, and it's just a really heavy touch at the end. As I think Isco's gone down here.
Hopefully not with an injury, because that's...
I was going to say before, if it was the opposite way around and Real Madrid had got a red card, depending on which player got sent off, they would have been buggered, because they would have probably brought on the youngster.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be all right in the end. A few more comments just coming in very quickly. Rangers for Life, how are you doing, buddies? Put, hi, lads, hope you well. I'm in a very good mood. It's all going down for Celtic right now. Of course, we know what's happened there, don't we? And then Chris has just put people for Atalanta.
about time, Josh. I know we've been talking about how he was still in a job. He's only the second manager off the top of my head where I could think about why is he still in a job. I won't name the first one, but I know you'll probably know.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but it's about time because he's had an abysmal season, and Rangers for life will be very happy.
Oh, absolutely. And do you know, I'll be interested to see who Celtic bring in, whether they look to bring in somebody in a short-term interim role, maybe until the end of the season and give themselves time to try and find a big manager, or whether they'll just go, let's go out there and try and see if we can get someone like a Lampard, or I know they've been linked to Rafa Benitez, but I think they'll go down the interim route.
Yeah, maybe till the end of the season. I'm thinking of a person that maybe needs to go and not rejuvenate a career, but a bit like Brendan Rodgers. I would be interested to see Eddie Howe take over.
Eddie Howe would be a perfect one.
Yeah, he's one person that I think would be interesting. I don't know about Lampard. Seeing Lampard and Gerrard now taking each other on as managers as they did as players, that's an interesting storyline. But I think my immediate thought would be they've done that because they want Lampard versus Gerrard rather than going off managerial acumen, because Lampard hasn't really been majorly successful as a manager yet.
No, and what I was thinking, the other card for Casemiro, by the way, I thought with Rafa Benitez, it'd be kind of teacher against student.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because obviously when he was in that Champions League winning team, that'd be another... I mean, I love it how we're just creating storylines rather than maybe who's best for the job, but it's just a bit fun, isn't it?
I mean, that's the thing. There's not, for me, a great deal of managers out there that would probably want to manage Celtic right now just because of the current situation that they're in. But, I mean, Eddie Howe, for me, as I said, perfect fit.
Laporte was giving... It was all over Hoffman, Josh. It was absolutely disgraceful. He's on the back of him, and it's just definitely a foul. As I said to you earlier, Josh, I'm finding it hard not to be extremely biased during this watch.
You don't have to worry. You can be biased. You're a Gladbach fan. You're allowed to appreciate Gladbach for what they do. And I mean, if they score, then I'd expect you to go.
The thing is, what it used to be was when we did the goal show, you'd get the stream would get the second wave of celebration.
I just see on the bottom of my screen, I'd be like, I could see the fist pumps, and then you calm yourself down, and then I put you on the screen. Yeah,
I'd like, kind of sort my collar out, just make sure I'm ready, and then come in.
Honestly, brilliant times. I mean, we've got a goal show again on Wednesday as well for the Europa League, so we might get to see a few fist pumps going on, depending what game you've got.
Yeah, well, tomorrow it's I've got the game I had last week, Lille Ajax. Yeah.
Be a good game.
What have you got? What have you got? Have you gone with Arsenal again? Sadly.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? The positive for me is it's not actually being played at the Emirates. It's in Greece. So again, there's no home advantage. So it should be an all right game in the end. But I hope it's better than the first leg because it was absolute fucking piss. Yeah,
I'll be honest. I kind of agree with you. From what I heard, it was. But then again, if you watched Arsenal on the weekend against Man City, you thought it couldn't get worse than the Benfica midweek game. No.
Oh, they made it even worse. It was sometimes worse than the Benfica game. I thought if you compared both games, I actually was quite lucky to get to watch that Benfica.
It was bad, wasn't it, the Man City game?
Nacho, he's going on the run on his own. Oh, what a goal that would have been from Nacho Fernandez. He goes on a solo run. Gets round, he's gone from the halfway line. They're so open, Atalanta. Gets round two defenders. I think Romero being one of them, Mahale the other. Gets inside the box. I think he just takes one extra touch that kind of sends him a little bit to the left-hand side of the near post. A really awkward angle, but he takes the shot on. And it very nearly curled into the top round of the goal.
To be fair, we've seen him hit a screamer before. Flashback to the World Cup. What an absolute beauty. But, we know he can strike him. We know he can strike him, but not to be there.
No. I mean, it would have been a great goal to open this tie. Real Madrid are going to come forward again. I'm worried now that this game does turn into a bit of a drill. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just Real Madrid coming forward.
Yeah, and that's what we always say about early red cards. And Sterling, I'm trying to see what the ref's given here. He's given a goal kick. Sterling was driving into the box. We know how quick he is. Ben Sabine tries to keep with him. He dives in. That could be a penalty. I'll be honest, Josh.
Do you think that might get checked by VAR?
It'll definitely get checked. But I'm just interested to see. I think Sterling might be going over before connection is made. But that is a totally unbiased opinion, of course.
I mean, you'll have to tell us in a second if anything does. No? Nothing?
No VAR check, genuinely. But then you've got to yellow card Sterling, in my opinion. If this is how we do these things. It was like, did you watch Southampton Leeds the other day?
I didn't know. I heard it was a very good match.
It was, and Nathan Teller went down, got the penalty. Then it turned out he'd moved his foot to try and get the penalty. Isn't that simulation? I thought this is what this is. But
yeah, I've said it before in the past. They need to, in this day and age with VAR, if a player is going to use an opportunity to their advantage to try and win a penalty, they need to start yellow carding players because it's too inconsistent on that basis where there's too many players out there who do try to simulate for a foul. You find out it's actually a dive in the end and nothing happens to them. I thought this is what VAR was for. To get
it's a goal for Man City.
Oh, you were quiet then for a second. I thought maybe we've got a highlight or something, but it is a highlight, but not what you want to do. Scored.
It's Bernardo Silva. I've got to admit, it's a beautiful ball over the top of the back four by João Cancelo, and the centre backs lose track of it, and in behind them is Bernardo Silva, who heads into the net. I'm just going to say the ball's whipped in beautifully. It's a gorgeous ball over the head of Elvedi. And in behind him is Bernardo Silva, who heads it into the ground past Jan Sommer. Work to do for Gladbach. It's a lovely ball by Cancelo, but a shame indeed.
Unlucky. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
At some point would probably go on and score.
Yeah, they've been the better team so far, but I think if you're munching Gladbach there, it's one of them. It's just a little bit of quality that's outdone you there.
Yeah, exactly. But as we always say in the past, it's better to concede 30 minutes into the game rather than 30 minutes at the end because you've got a bit more time to compose yourself and organise. And I think the important thing here for Gladbach is to not concede any more away goals. Yeah, because if it gets to 2 or 3. It's going to be very hard for Gladbach to get back into it.
Yeah, I think my main problem with the goal came from Christoph Kremer being pressured after they played it out from the back. And he had to hoof it, and he hoofed it straight to Cancelo, and then the ball's come from that. They're trying to play their style, which I always appreciate. It's like you always appreciate when a team kind of doesn't change for thingy, but early on, they're putting themselves under waves of attack from trying to play out.
Well, we've had that change finally, but it's not actually, I think, for the player who we wanted to take off originally. Zapata's come off. I think he's picked up an injury. So he's had to come off and Pasalic comes on. So realistically speaking, not the player that they wanted to bring off, but the substitution has actually come into effect at a pretty decent time anyway. Winvar's asked in the chat, what do I think about the Atalanta red card? I think it's the right decision. I think at the end of the day, Vinny Jr. would have probably been through on goal had Freuler not made the foul. So I think the referees made a good decision in the end to give that as a red card. And I can understand why people say maybe it's not. But as I said, I think Vinny would have probably been through on goal. So I think it's the right decision in the end. Yeah,
is it denying a clear goal scoring opportunity, which, I mean, we've seen it for, do you remember the David Luiz one in that game where he just nearly stood and that was a red card because it denied a clear goal scoring opportunity. So yeah, it's one of them where...
I was going to say, it's even the one we saw a few days ago when Semi Ajayi got sent off and it was at the halfway line. It was still classed as a clear and obvious opportunity. And that was at the halfway line. So
yeah. So it's one of them you kind of got to deal with it as no matter what the some of them are really dangerous, but some of them are soft. But if they do the same thing, then it's what you have to do.
And to be fair, I would have said Freuler's foot was quite high for a tackle as well. So I think he wouldn't have got sent off necessarily speaking had it not been last man, but he would have gone into the book regardless of whether it was last man or not because his foot was really, really high in the end. Carl's put, I'm sick and tired of these diving, cheating, I'm just going to say bastards. Apology about the curse sound. It's all right because I'm just going to say it anyway, Cal. Pisses me off. More needs to be done. Send them off, fine, ban them, or else it'll keep on happening.
I think, to be fair to Sterling, it wasn't like the most egregious dive I've ever seen. Like, he was just going down before the contact was made. Whereas, I mean, to be fair, off first glance, when I first saw it, I thought he'd been cropped. But then when you see he's already in the air falling, man, he's not the worst dive I've ever seen. I'll tell you that. That's what I'll say.
No, I'd like, as you said, it probably wasn't a massively bad dive, but I just still think these days, as we said before, regardless of whether it's a bad tackle or not, or a bad dive even, sorry, yellow cards have to come out now.
Yeah, but
that was the whole point, wasn't it? To get rid of diving, yet people still do it anyway.
That's why VAR was a thing, because another problem was clear dives. There wasn't anything that came from that chance, but this is the thing, Gladbach, they don't need to get desperate yet, so there's no point in chucking large amount of men forward. It's not, if you're drawing up this first half, it's not the worst, but there is still 15 minutes. I think, as you said, as long as you don't concede another one, just try and break down this Man City team, who defensively, as we've said before, Josh, just look so much better, more solid.
Yeah, I've said it before. I think Ruben Dias is generally one of the best defenders in the world. And I'm not even just saying that but based on form. I just think at the age of 19 to be the captain for Benfica, he was destined for stardom, wasn't he? And now he's got that move to City. I really do think he's their next company, and he'll be there for a long time to come. He's ace. That's all I'll say. He's brilliant.
He's just company without the injury issues, whereas Laporte has got the injury issues that they wanted to avoid with the next man. But to be fair, Josh, I'll say it: if you spend like $1 billion on centre backs, you'll find a good one. With the amount they've spent. And that
$1 billion to do so.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, if I spent $1 billion, I could find something successful. I'm pretty sure.
Oh God!
But it is what they've looked for, and that's a beautiful little flick by.
Oh, you saucy devil! I don't know what he's doing there, but I'm getting roulette flicks from the centre backs of Atalanta as Real Madrid are pressing. How beautiful is that? I will say one thing: this game's not been a drill. Atalanta genuinely don't seem to care that they're down to 10 men.
Then again, that is Atalanta's style, though. They are defence second, definitely.
Yeah. Gung-ho football.
Yeah. They are one of them teams where you can clearly see Atletico Madrid are defence first. Keep a clean sheet, we'll worry about the scoring later. Whereas Atalanta we'll worry about the defending later, because if we score 7, they're not likely to score 7 as well. So
yeah, exactly.
That's just the way they play. But no Papu Gomez. How will that affect them? Because he was so good.
I don't even think they miss him. Obviously, it was one of those situations where they obviously didn't need him if they could let him go, or else they would have with the situation that happened. It was about Juve and stuff, and just a complete lack of regard for the team anymore. They would have kept him and asked for quite a large sum of cash, so they didn't need him. And Pessina, don't know a great deal about him, to be fair, but because we've watched a lot of Serie A over the last couple of weeks, he's a very, very good replacement. Not as good as Alejandro. He's not going to bag you the 10 or 15 goals that the Argentinian did, but he just seems to have slotted into the team like that. And good job so far.
Yeah, he's one of them. It's going to be hard to replace a man of that quality straight away. There's going to be some downgrade because he was that good.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a shame. But I think, new start at Sevilla. I think one aspect maybe that was they were kind of okay with letting him go is he was getting older, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting on with age, and I guess when you can get nearly £10 million for him for a 33, 34-year-old, you've got to take that sort of money, because I think, give it another season and you're probably losing half of the money you got from Sevilla just because he's aged.
Yeah. By the way, Kyle Walker clashed with Ben Sabini and he's still down, but it wasn't Ben Sabini's fault. Ben Sabini just got the ball and they kind of seemed to go shoulder to shoulder. But what I'm thinking is at some level of rib injury.
Yeah.
Because he's gone down, arms up on the thingy, trying to give him a little breathing room. So maybe he's got a cracked rib or bruised rib, maybe. Something like that. Or he's just winded.
Yeah, hopefully nothing too serious. Daz is in the building. How you doing, lad? Good to see you as always. He put, sorry for being a bit late, lads. How are you doing today?
Don't worry about it. I was doing much better 10 minutes ago.
And I would say I was probably doing much better about 10 minutes ago when Atalanta didn't get a red card. But I can say I'm still good because Real Madrid haven't scored yet. But
there you go.
Ask us, what's your predictions for these two tonight? Well, I don't know now because I would have said 3. I said 3-2 earlier today to KD before we went on. But now there's been a red card. I really don't know.
This is the thing. How do you? It's so difficult to factor in a red card versus a team that has no substitutes.
Yeah, exactly. Although Real Madrid are in here, this goes in the box, still going, slight deflection, corner. Big chance. I'm just seeing his beard now. He's definitely been working to the COVID protocol.
It's lovely.
It's nice, isn't it? He's just not shaved.
No.
Looking a bit rough. Got a ponytail tonight as well.
Well, he's gone. I told you, he's gone all Hagrid on us.
Modric, a bit too high.
But
I thought we were going to see another Modric screamer then.
The thing is, I would say my prediction, but now it's not fair because City have scored. I mean, in my prediction, they probably would have scored as well. So, they're coming forward, so I'm going to refrain. Just give me 2 seconds. Nah.
2 seconds, and it might. Are you all right now? I'm about to say if they made it 2, then it would have been a real bit of a tricky situation to predict.
Yeah, it would have gone 2-1 Gladbach instead. I had to make it 3-2 Gladbach, but we'll stick with 2-1 for now.
I'm gonna go 2. I'd say 2-1 Real Madrid. I really don't want it to be, but it all depends with Real Madrid because they haven't got Benzema tonight, and I think had they've got Benzema, I think it would have probably been inevitable that they scored. But I genuinely can see this ending 0-0 as well.
I kind of feel bad for Mariano because even in a strikerless team,
they're saying that Vinny's in here outside the box. Terrible miss in the end. In fact, deflection on it, which is gone out for a corner. I think he's quite lucky he got a deflection there because that was a piss poor shot, and that's why you need someone like Benzema up top.
Yeah, I just, as I say, I feel bad for Mariano because even in a strikerless team where everyone's not fit, he's still on the bench.
And to say as well, it was only a few years ago he was at Lyon and he had that nuts season, didn't he, where he bagged like 15, 20 goals. Worst thing he ever did was move back to Real Madrid.
Well, this is the thing with the buyback clause, though. You can't get out of it really, which is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Another little chance. Marco Asensio, header inside the box, straight into the hands of Galini. Not done much tonight, as I think you'd expect with Real Madrid. They've had a few decent chances, but because they've got no clinical finisher up top, neither Asensio or Vinny have been able to really get something going in this game. And I do think at some point we'll probably see someone like Mariano come on, maybe be like 25, 30 minutes to go, just so they've actually got a striker up top who might be able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, or maybe someone a little bit different that can maybe hold it up a little bit better because I don't think Vinny Jr. is really a hold-up striker. He's not a striker.
No, exactly.
He's definitely going to probably play on the last man or dribble at players, whereas Mariano, for me, he's purely probably your finisher. So you probably have to mix it up and take somebody off. I just don't... Who do you take off? Because there's not much to do.
Maybe take someone off like Isco and then put Asensio to attack in mid or the false nine and then put Mariano up top. Because I always remember with Mariano, I think the one best memory he'll have since coming back in his second stint was I'm pretty sure when he scored a brace against Barcelona when he came off the bench.
Yeah.
That would be the best like shining moment as a Real Madrid player in his second stint at least. But as you said, when you've got a buyback clause, it's not like he could get out of it because I think had he have not gone back, we could have seen a very different career for Mariano.
Yeah, I guess it's what really kind of doesn't annoy me at all. It's just like, you see players like this. I'll always bring up Jovic because I absolutely loved him and Haller's partnership. And then when they moved away from each other, it just wasn't the same. They just didn't need to go. I think the Haller one was less egregious because it was to West Ham.
Yeah.
But Jovic, it just never worked out.
Well, look at him. He's back there now again, isn't it?
He's scoring.
And he's firing again. Chris has just put in the chat, saw Liverpool training session pitch today. They're all smiling. Sorry, there's nothing to smile about where we are at the moment, being in bad form. They're lucky I'm not manager because they won't be smiling. I don't like players who smile. You're there to win. But they've got to enjoy themselves as well, because at the end of the day, as much as they're professional footballers, it's not just a job. Do you know what I mean? It's daily life. And I don't think you could sit there and tell the players to be miserable all the time.
And you don't want them dwelling on bad results because that'll probably end up with worse morale. Yeah. If you dwell on it for too long, I understand, like, if I saw someone the night of being, like, buzzing, especially if you just lost a derby, I'd understand if it was night of and they were fuming. But after a certain amount of days, I think you've got to kind of just forget last week, on to the next one. But I understand what you mean, because some people, you don't want people to be blasé about it, though, because you don't want to get used to losing. It's not a good feeling.
No. I mean, Kyle agrees with Chris. As I said, I understand to a certain extent, but as you said, I think the best way you have to look at it is you don't want your players always in a negative atmosphere, because if you constantly got your players negative, how are you ever going to expect them to win? When you've got a whole host of players with a negative morale, you want to keep some form of positivity, regardless of whether you're a relegation club or you're a top team that's just had a bad spell of football. You've got to keep some positivity. Yeah,
as I was very positive there, as Jesus looked like he was breaking through on goal, but took a crap touch, so we're okay. It's not been a good half, Josh. It's not been a good, not in terms of, it's been a fine game to watch, but as a Gladbach fan, I don't really think they've had any. There was that one moment where Liner broke through and tried to square it to Player, and it didn't quite come off. But apart from that, it's been all Man City. It's
been largely Madrid in this game, as you'd expect. As it feels inevitable that at some point they'll put the ball in the back of the net, but you just don't know tonight, just because they haven't got that main man up top. But hopefully, Atalanta can hold on in this one, because they've had a few chances to come forward on their own, but it's going to be tough for them to get something in this match.
I understand. Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, it should have been to Real Madrid.
Another chance.
9 Isco. And well, I think tonight he'll probably get abuse on Real Madrid by Real Madrid fans for missing that, because that's what they love to do. Ball's pinged in from Lucas Vazquez. Really, really nice ball. Comes towards Isco. And, I mean, he's literally about 5 yards out from goal. One touch of the ball, and that's in the back of the net. Doesn't get a touch at all. Goes wide of the mark. Big chance that. Should have been 1-0.
Yeah, they've had a couple of them this half, though. Real Madrid, as you said, maybe lack of striker is the only reason that they're not ahead in this game. Is Ruben Dias just takes on like 4 players. He's a centre-half, for goodness sake.
Is he trying to do a Nacho Fernandez?
Yeah, well, he wasn't. Luckily, he wasn't that close to the box. But Foden, that is awful. And I think, to be fair, with 30 seconds left, if you're Gladbach, you need to get in and just regroup.
Yeah,
completely, because it's been a tough half.
To go in at 1-0 at half time is not bad, but as we said, you cannot afford to concede any more goals in this game, or it's going to be very, very tough to get back in that match.
Yeah, and for me, they've not shown enough to keep Man City guessing at all. Like it's just been try to play out from the back. By the way, it's halftime. Play it out from the back. Crap for closing us down. Hoof it to the middle of the park. Hope we win that ball. Inevitably, don't win that ball, and then it just keeps coming back, and it's repetitive Man City attacks.
Oh, what a save! Sorry for jumping in. We've got 3 minutes of additional time. That is a great save from Galini. I need to see that again, because I think it was Asensio who got his head on the ball. And it was one of those where, and if put it into one of the 2 corners, that would have been in. But Galini's just alive and alert. Good save in the end.
Is it? I was going to say it's another Real Madrid chance as well.
A massive one as well. Probably one of the best chances I've had of the game so far.
Which, to be fair, they've had plenty of chances, but it's one of them. Benzema, as we've said already, probably finishes that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they might bring on someone like Mariano fairly earlier than I expect them to, just have that extra man up top. But a few questions in the chat. Daz put, Josh, I like to podcast with Devon Peterson. Thank you very much, Daz. Greatly appreciate it, buddy. UK Open next week. It is indeed. Who do you think will win it? It's got to be one of the two Gerwins. It's got to be Gerwin Price or Michael van Gerwen. One of them two need to... will probably like to start the new season firing in all cylinders. But I know the PDC Super Series is this week, so I think a lot of that will come into play with who comes into the competition with form and who doesn't. And then Chris put Isco acting like he's in the disco with that finish. I tell you what, he certainly didn't have the dancing moves for that finish. It was shockingly bad. We've got about 60 seconds left of this game. And it's one of these matches now where 0-0 at full time would probably be not bad for either of these two sides. Atalanta getting a 0-0 down to 10 men early on, not allowing Real Madrid to score, and then going into their training ground where realistically is no home advantage might actually be quite good for them.
And it's just the worst thing for you because this should have been a competitive tie. And unfortunately, it's kind of turned into a... Don't get me wrong, I completely believe you that Atalanta are still going to be trying to go for it. But they will not be attacking at the level or with the drive that they did previously, because it's just harder with 10 men. You know, if this was two full-strength sides and Real Madrid maybe had 10 men, completely different game. But it's just the hand that's been dealt. Remo Freuler cropping Vinny Jr.
Remo Freuler ruining the game. It's reckless in the end. It was a stupid foul. The referee's just blown his whistle for half time. 0-0 in this one, which is a shame because, you know, as you said, had there have been two sides, both teams fully out with the players, this could have been a different game. But they've had the chances, Atalanta, not really many on target. Zapata coming off as well is another big disappointment because originally he wasn't actually going to be the player that was coming off. But as I said, 0-0 at the end of this match is actually looking like a decent result for both teams because, as I said, Atalanta being down to 10 men for a large spell, going into the next leg 0-0 will be fine. And then Real Madrid would be thinking, well, yes, Atalanta were down to 10 men, but nobody has the advantage. So they can go into the second leg and give it their all. But it's a shame on that one. But with your game, Gladbach 0, Manchester City 1. Being a lot of Manchester City right now, what do Gladbach need to do to get back in the game?
Change the style. I'll be honest. The coming out from the back thing is just not working at all. I know it's hard because even if they hoof it long, they're not the tallest side. So, but you've got to win the first ball. If you are going to play out for the back, you need to beat that Man City press because the moment you beat the Man City press, you're in behind. We saw that with Liner have that in that immediate opportunity. But for me, they just need to mix it up. I think they need a little bit more pace. Because if they are trying to drive forward, I think Hoffman is great. He's creative, but I'd prefer him central rather than having him on the wing. I do think eventually we'll have to see Marcus Thuram. Structurally, they've been okay. They haven't really been caught out by Man City, or a lot of it has been in front of them. And when they have got in behind, they've done really well at recovering. The only player I worry about is Raheem Sterling because he's given Ben Sabani the run around, but he's done all right, the Algerian fullback, to kind of limit it a little bit. But overall for me is just be a little bit smarter than repeat. You know, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting different results. The amount of times I saw you trying to play out from the back, you hoof it into the middle of the park and you're not first to the ball. You know, they're being rushed into things. And if you go back, that's what Man City do to you. But it was only a bit of quality that beat you. So in the second half, just try and offer something if you're Gladbach. That's the only thing I would say. I mean, only thing. I've just said 7 things. But it's okay.
They've got quite a bit of work to do from the sounds of it, without making it sound like too much.
Yeah, without saying, they need 15 different things to possibly come out on top. I think for me, the best chance they've had has been getting that ball in behind perfect. And they've only had it once, which is worrying. And even then, the recovery speed of Kyle Walker helps them out. I do think he'll look to the bench. I'm not sure if he'll look to it yet, but we'll definitely see the introduction of Marcus Thuram and Breal Donald and Bolo and the likes of players like that. But what about Atalanta? The 10 men of Atalanta, I guess.
What do you do? That's the question. I mean, this is the gung-ho team of European football that will probably still, and kind of have still gone gung-ho to a certain extent with, losing a man. It's a big loss, I think, losing Zapata, because it's not necessarily little and large. You know how we used to have like the Defoe and the Crouch combination?
Yeah.
But it's a poacher and just a rapid player in Muriel up top. And I think that connection could have worked well had both players been on the pitch still. But
yeah,
as I said, I think you probably look at this and think, if you're Gasperini now, a 0-0 going into the second leg would actually be a very good result, just because you haven't conceded to Real Madrid. And I still think Atalanta could go away from home. As we said before, we don't know whether Real Madrid are actually back in their other stadium, which I'm going to actually check up now and see whether they are or not. But if you can take them on in their training ground, you never know with this Atalanta side, because they've got some incredible players. And I've just checked, they are still playing at the training ground. So there's not really much of a home advantage, is there, realistically speaking?
No, definitely not. And for me, they've not looked great at home. In the European competition so far. They've had struggles in the group stages against both Gladbach, Shakhtar. They managed to beat Inter, but they didn't impress many people in the group stages, especially not me. So I don't think it's going to be a massive task and a massive ask for Atalanta to win. But unfortunately, Josh, both goals in both halves not happening at all. You couldn't have been more wrong.
And honestly, I blame Remo Freuler for that mainly, but I'd say I'd blame some of the players on the Gladbach side of stuff.
Yeah.
But at least you guys have been able to try. Atalanta have had to kind of sit back slightly just because they've lost the extra man. But yeah, that's not going to be happening tonight, which is a real shame indeed. But Chris has put in the chat as well, he thinks better result for Atalanta, in my opinion, if it stays as it is, conceding no away goals, which is very true, because technically Atalanta have a little bit of an advantage.
Josh, what do you think of the away goals rule for teams that are playing in neutral venues? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's a great rule, isn't it?
Why? I don't understand.
And say that without a smile. I think it's absolute bollocks. I think it's genuinely a situation where they should have just said, if a game is 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, vice versa, it goes to extra time or penalties, regardless of an away goal rule.
I mean, I hate away goals anyway. I think they're rubbish. I think they're a lot of. Literally, it doesn't matter. No, in theory, it's not harder to score away from home than it is at home. Not anymore, especially not anymore.
Not these days.
Well, I did a piece the other day. Not for the website, Josh. Don't worry, I've not tweeted out.
I thought going to be a cheeky plug-in then.
No. We'll get to the plugs. But no, I did about, is home advantage even a thing anymore? And all the stats are saying that it's not a thing. So just for now, and hopefully in the future, just scrap the away goals rule. It's rubbish.
They should have this season just got rid of it and keep the 2-leg format, because I love it. I think it's one of the best things about the Champions League, the Europa League, because when you get 2 legs, it makes it so much more special than just having one. But for me, as you said, this season, and it'd be the only season, get rid of the away goals rule. And as I said, if it ends 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, so on and so forth, it just goes to extra time or penalties. Because then no team who plays away in the second leg gets the advantage.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Because if for example, like the German sides won't allow the English side, so now they're playing this game in like Hungary or Greece or wherever they're playing it, Whereas when they're actually playing. It does unbalance the tournament ever so slightly. Or maybe they should have just done everything in a neutral venue, like both home and away. Just make them in this neutral venue, and I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
It's strange, but that's the UEFA for you. They're always strange, aren't they?
Yeah.
They seem to change rules every bloody year. It's mad. But let's do a quick bit of plugging while we've got a chance. Half-time in these games as it stands. Gladbach 1-0 down to Manchester City. And Atalanta 0, Real Madrid 0. Atalanta down to 10 men because of an early red card to Remo Freuler. We've got lots of content to come up over the next few days, including the 5:55 p.m. goal show. Now, you might have seen last week we did do a 5:55 p.m. Sorry, 8 o'clock. We did the goal show for some of the big games in the Europa League. So we covered the likes of Benfica, Arsenal, Lille, Ajax, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Shakhtar. Let's not forget that one, of course, and a whole host of other games going on. We're going to do those second legs of those games. That's tomorrow. That'll be from about 4:45, 10 to 5, with a kickoff at 5 to 6. So a lot of games to cover. And then straight after that, some of us might also be staying to watch some of the other games going on, which is 8 o'clock. Now, you'll have seen last time the two main games that were being played were United Real Sociedad and Leicester Slavia. KD and Roman are going to cover those two games. But alongside that, I'll be there watching one of the other games, and hopefully a couple of other guys will stay as well. So Rowan and KD will cover those two games as the main kind of two. And then us others that stay will pop in and out of the stream, kind of doing like a mini goal show in between. So we've got quite a bit of action going on there. And I might dibs PSV Olympiacos.
Was you dibs in it? I may have just glanced at a few fixtures, Josh, completely not related to maybe joining in. I'm eyeing up Roma Braga. I'll be honest, that seems ever so slightly tasty, even though I think Roma have a 2-0 lead and they'll probably go through. But, you know.
Do you know what the thing is? Now we're in it, like, because the Europa League's got second legs, you never know.
What about Leverkusen Young Boys? What a game that was. But yeah, watch me get the crap second leg. Like, I've got the crap. Like, imagine a crap sequel to a really good first film. Like, that will be. That is what it will be. I'm not going to get Toy Story 2. I'm more likely to get Home Alone 2 or something like that.
Let's hope not. 2.
Sorry. Carry on.
No, Cars 2's. Less said about that, the better. Yeah. You know, the first one was good. The second one is terrible. But they're the two games that are going to be covered main, and then we'll have like a little goal show in between. Hopefully, some good second legs because, of course, the Europa League does have an extra round to it. And then we've got a whole host of the watch-alongs to come over the weekend. A-League Friday mornings continue. Perfect Glory taking on Brisbane Roar at the later time of 10 o'clock for that kickoff. So Rowan does get an extra 2 hours of line time. Then Rowan will be back on Saturday. He's going to cover in Manchester City, West Ham. That's from 12:25. I'll be live with Sevilla, Barca straight after that at 3:05. That game's going to be a real cracker. And then what about this from the Bundesliga? RB Leipzig, Gladbach. Might be Rowan and KL. 5:20. He doesn't even know about it because I've only just put it on. Leipzig, Gladbach is available. And that game, of course, is going to be on from about, where is it? 5:20.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, Josh. I'm pretty sure we were in a call the other night, and I don't drop hints. I'm not the type of guy, but I did say, have you checked Saturday? Look at what's at 5:30. I am more than willing to, I mean, to be fair, with the form we're on at the moment, I think I should avoid it, but let's go. Why not?
Hey, you never know. Leipzig might beat them. That might be a big confidence booster.
Well, do we want to? Because Bayern are slowly dropping down, like Bayern drop points, and Leipzig are the closest. So I'm torn with, like, do I want to help Bayern win the league, but do I want my team to succeed? And I think I'm still going to be back in Gladbach no matter what.
Be a good game either way. It's going to be a brilliant match. And you get another bit of Rowan as well, 5:20 for that one. So we've got 3 watch-alongs in a day. We're looking to do a lot of watch-alongs of the weekend now. You might have noticed last week we did about 4 or 5 in one day. There's so many good games on right now. We've got a championship watch-along coming up as well next Wednesday. I'm looking to do Wednesday versus Rotherham United. Myself and Pill Wheat going to be involved in that one. Should be a real firecracker. Yeah. And then, of course... it'd be Pill Wheat. We love Pill Wheat, our resident rock star. And then we've got, of course, an interview that I undertook quite recently. If you're a big darts fan, I was able to get on Devon Peterson, ranked 31st in the world of the PDC Order of Merit. I had a fantastic interview which I recorded a few days ago with him. Brilliant interview. I'm going to show you a quick short clip from that interview, just to give you a little bit of a taster of what I talked about with Devon Peterson. But if you do want to see that, I will put the link in the chat in a minute. But here's a quick look at what I had to say Devon Peterson a few days ago. First ranked player in the PDC Order of Merit, and he's nicknamed the African Warrior. It is Devon Peterson. How are we today?
Josh, I'm great, my man, and I'm pleased to be interviewed by you today on your podcast. It's really great.
Thank you very much. First of all, once again, thank you very much for your time indeed. It's massively appreciated. I want to take you back to the very start of your career, and I know it's probably a question you've been asked a lot from many pundits and stuff, but what's the thing that got you into darts? And specifically, to kind of change the question up a little bit, who was the person in your life, whether it be a darts player or somebody in your family, that gave you the motive or the drive to go out there and get your PDC tour card?
I think it was obviously our family, in a sense, as in my dad's side of the family. It's well kind of interviewed that my dad was the kind of driving force behind my career. I remember the one time I was doing South African for the international trials, and I got to a high level. I think I was ranked third, and I never got selected for the team, and then came back and never practiced, never picked up a dart, and kind of lost the love for the game. And my dad said, why don't you just give it one more shot, and just give it a proper shot, you know what I mean? And I think that words, I mean, those small, that little sentence kind of just resonated with me. And my dad's always been in my corner, no matter what I'm doing. Always my biggest critic and biggest fan as well. So yeah, if you were to ask a dad, it's definitely my dad, and he in our family is a legend as well on the dartboard, and in our local community. So yeah, he was my first idol growing up in the sport, and definitely one of my biggest motivating factors to date.
And if you want to see a little bit more of that, of course, got to quickly cut it off there. Then the link is in the chat if you want to see that. That was, of course, an interview that I undertook with Devon Peterson. Well worth checking it out. It's about half an hour long, so there's a lot we talk about. We talk about his career, of course, how his family have helped him to improve as a darts player, alongside which walk-on song he would have if he couldn't have Waka Waka. So there's a lot of good questions in there. And as I said, the link is in the description below for that. But I'm pretty sure we should be, I'd assume, underway in your match again.
Yeah, I'm 2.5 minutes in at the moment, and obviously, by the way, Josh, they should check out the website because there's so much content on there. There we go.
I was racing to get towards the PowerPoint. There we go. It should be on your screen now. Let me skip forward. There we are.
There we go. It's there.
Let me hide. There it is. There you go. You can see it on the screen. The sports-corner.com. I know. Where is he, Kyle? There we go. Look at him. He's always on the ball, isn't he, Kyle? There's the link in the chat if you want to access it, because you put up a piece, actually, a few weeks ago, didn't you, last week, about some place to look out for in the Champions League knockout stages. Yeah,
and 3 of them are competing tonight. It was Gundogan of Manchester City, of course. He's been on some unbelievable form. There'll be another article coming soon. I feel like all I'm doing is writing about Gundogan, but there's an article coming with him in it. Christian Romero, the centre-half from Atalanta, who I think has been absolutely... When we talked about Atalanta's defensive problems, he's the centre-back that they needed. He is a rock at the back, and he's got much bigger things ahead of him. Another Sam player who sadly we've not seen much of just yet, but I think he's one of the players that had an amazing group stage alongside the likes of Romero, who really deserved some players that don't get a big enough mention because everyone's like, you know, who do we look out for? Yes, Sterling, Ronaldo, Messi. Yeah, of course, but some other players. So if you check the website out, there's a few more. I won't say anything else, but there's a few more on there.
There's always underappreciated stars in the Champions League. And I think for a lot of the neutrals out there, there's players that you don't really know or teams you don't know a great deal about. So it's well worth checking that out. As I said, the link to that is the sports-corner.com. Check it out as always. Greatly appreciated. We've got loads of new articles up there today as well. We've got a piece on Everton and their brand new stadium, of course. They can now build that in the near future. So we talked about whether that will bring success for Everton in the next coming years. And then we also had a piece today on Musiala as well, of course. He's just announced his allegiance to Germany, which is a real shame indeed. So we have a look at him and wondering if he's going to be Germany's next star for the future. So well worth checking those out. We've just got underway in this game as well.
Oh, of course he's chose. To be fair, you know, if you had the choice, I think I think most people would be selecting Germany. It's one of them. They've got Timo Werner, but they were one of them where they've lacked a real striker since Klose and Gomez, who were definitely in the twilights of their career. So Musiala, Werner, the future looks bright up top for Germany, which is great because we've not seen enough of them being dominant, have we?
No, we just need to see a few more years of them being dominant. Yeah. But BT, I was listening earlier. They were talking actually about. Going to stop for a second though, because Modric is in here. Oh, just wide of the mark. Big chance that was. BT made a very good point and said, with England, a lot of the times when we've said about getting players to join and pledge their allegiance, they tend to put them into the under-23s and the under-21s rather than putting them into the first team. While nations like Germany, Spain, if a player's going to pledge allegiance to them, they tend to just go into the first team straight away, which I do understand that point in that respect.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's one of them where when you're in the under-20 something for so long, it probably does become excruciatingly annoying. You're like, when's my opportunity going to finally come? And for Musiala, he probably wants to get playing international football as soon as possible. But we've lost a few over the years. Zaha, he decided to play for the Ivory Coast, which is completely understandable. You can choose wherever the bloody hell you want to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking, didn't we have another youngster quite recently? Reina, that was it, Giovanni Reina.
Well, yeah, to be fair though, America have got a really, we always talk about America's bright future. We're yet to see whether they'll live up to it because we've hyped them up so much, but they do have an extremely bright future. If only Alphonso Davies was born a little bit souther.
Yeah.
Souther? A little bit more south.
A little bit more souther.
Yeah, a little bit more souther than where he was. But they would have had an unbelievable team. And they still do, to be fair, for years to come.
I mean, that one's going to be an interesting project. You know, when you're looking 3-4 years' time, when players like Dest have had a bit more experience and even players like Reina and that get into their early 20s, mid-20s, that team will be very interesting to watch in years to come.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where they are now, but it's a lot of really young players mixed with some other players. Like, you know, I still think they're waiting for that real number 9 striker like Clint Dempsey when he was there, and right through the middle. I don't think they have that yet. Not to say Josie Altidore's not fantastic.
He's a brilliant player.
yeah, Bobby Wood, you know, he's there as he's just.
Johansson as well.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, they're just a number 9, like a number 9. I'd like to see soon as well.
It is an interesting one. They're going to be a good side over time. Dimski's in the building as well. What were you going to say before I said Dimski's comment?
Jordan Siabachu. Oh my God, that is a terrible back pass by Ben Sabine. Jesus is through. He's won. What a tackle! Go on, Elfedy.
Oh,
Sorry.
That's the passion we love to see.
Yeah, he's got back at Ben Sabine. Honestly, hospital pass. They've done it again. Oh no, they're coming again. But hospital pass. Jesus, I don't know what he's doing. He takes his sweet old time, and Elvedi gets back with an unbelievable tackle, and that is the passion from the players and the fans that you want to see. And I tell you what, Gladbach, they've got a 3-on-4 here. Newhouse driving through the middle. He's gonna. Oh, he's fucked it. Fuck's sake. Sorry, language.
No, it's all right. I say piss and shit and everything on this stream, so you're all good. You're all good. But Dimsky's put in the chat. Where is he? There he is. Evening, boys. Missed the notification, but stumbled on your coverage. Shout out to Norwich City on the way back up. Cheers. How you doing, Dimsky?
Not after the other night with Rotherham.
They played brilliant against us.
Did they?
They played really, really good. Yeah, we lost 1-0 in the end, which, you know, is no mean feat. But we were piss poor in that game. We were terrible. Yeah. But they're a Premier League side.
Well, this is the thing. They're on their way up the Canaries. Up the bloody Canaries.
Back up again. They're the Championship yo-yo club, just like how we are in League One.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. This is why you stick with your manager even if you get relegated. Sometimes there is an exception to the rule. There we go. And Stindl. Oh, Cancelo gets back. this has been a much better second half, Josh. I'll be honest with you, since we've picked up.
I'd say this is much better off for Real Madrid. First 6-7 minutes, they've looked fairly lively, as you'd expect them to. We've either started this kind of first few minutes of the second half. Kyle's put, you guys need a swear jar. Honestly, Kyle, there'd be no point. I'd be fucking putting all my... Literally, I'd just have to drop my wallet in it. Never work that. Say,
Josh, do you remember that cash prize for the old Champions League tournament? That'd be gone straight away.
Yeah, that'd be gone.
Sorry, Kyle.
It's something I actually do need to sort out. That will be something I'll actually get done soon, because we've got that to, of course, sort out in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we try and be better. At least we spot it. Like when we've said it, we're like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, deep down, we're going to do it again in about 5 minutes' time, but at least we're apologetic for it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I'm not. I never apologise for it, but that's just me.
No, it's fine. But then again, you're like, we have to ask you, like, because we came to this channel just.
Oh, Vinny! Oh, you fucking idiot! Hasn't missed that. It's literally. I mean, I could have literally said, like, if Sergio Ramos was there, he would have put that in. I don't know what he's done in that situation. Ball comes in from a corner. The ball lands at his feet. No centre-backs near him. All you need to do is put your foot through it and it's in. He tries to dink the ball from about 5 yards out. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? Just, as I said, put your foot through it and it's in the back of the net.
Yeah. And Vinny Jr.'s had a few tonight.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say I understand why he gets a bit of criticism from Real Madrid fans, but I completely understand why he gets criticism from away fans. As we said before, he's not a striker.
No.
He's not a striker. I don't expect him to finish everything, but he has to finish that situation.
He's got to finish something.
Yeah, exactly. Dimski's put Norwich up and down like a horse draws. That's us as well. I know you're paying Dimsky.
Yeah, to be fair, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
You're not wrong at all.
At least you're not fully down. At least you get, once every couple of years you're celebrating.
I don't mind it.
I mean,
every couple of years we're going to the playoffs or something. I don't like the whole nail-biting process of it, but at least there's some optimism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got a feeling that, that's such a good ball down the middle, and it's going to be cleared, luckily, by Gladbach, but they've lashed it straight to Rodri. It's Foden. He's going to cut in on his left. No, he's going to do the overlapping ball to Bernardo Silva. Remy Benzema, he does very well, and it's a goal kick.
Chris has just thought, my little niece could score that. No sympathy or benefit of doubt for Vinicius Jr. That's not good enough. That's basic stuff, which you're not wrong, to be fair. It is basic stuff. As he gets a yellow card.
Unless Chris's niece is one of the Los Blancos. You never know. She's just been drafted in to play for Real Madrid. To be fair, she probably would have got in the squad tonight.
Yeah, she probably would have.
So at least that's a positive.
Josip Ilicic is going to come on, by the way. Muriel's coming off. I mean, we're 55 minutes in. He looks absolutely shattered.
To be fair, it's difficult when you're up top in a 10-man team because it is like the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
You've got to be there and you've got to be ready no matter what, even though your chances are going to be very few and far between. I remember when we were kids and I were not kids, I was about 16, but I were up top and we were playing a team like 5 leagues above, and you just have to run up top. You're never going to get a chance.
but you've got to put the effort in.
Yeah, because you never know when that chance may fall, or it brings other people, maybe force them into a mistake or something. But there's a foot race, and Zakaria's won it. Through to too heavy. Oh, sorry, Josh. Really sorry.
This is what we want to see. This is the passion we want to see. This is what you get when it's us two on the stream.
I know.
You're going nuts.
I know. Zakaria won the foot race with Rodri, and they'd split the centre halves. And all he had to do was put it into play, get it in his feet. And instead, he plays it too heavy, and it goes into the hands of Ederson. And you can tell by player's face, that's a massive opportunity for Gladbach. And these are the opportunities that you cannot miss in games like this.
No, you've got to be, especially in games where you're playing against the likes of Man City. Any chance you get, you've got to at least put on target.
Yeah, definitely.
Here he is. Mariano Diaz is coming on. I guess I'd be very surprised if Vinny Jr. is not coming off, because he's been shit. Oh, he's off. He didn't do the graveyard shift today, Vinicius Junior, but that will probably go down as one of the worst performances probably of his career.
This is the thing. He didn't do the graveyard shift, but his finishing was dead, to be fair. So he was working with some level of deadness. Deadness?
Deadness?
Yeah, a bit of deadness. Working with a bit of deadness.
Alexis put, by the way, was the Atalanta sending off as bad as I'm hearing? It wasn't, no. I personally like to think it was the right decision. I think Vinny Jr. would have been on goal anyway. And Freuler's foot was high, so I don't think it's as bad as people probably making out it to be.
I think that it's one of them where, to be fair, I think David Luiz is so, like, from the other week, is so, like, hard, because a challenge like that should never be a red card. Like, but obviously, with if we all knew the clear rules, which unfortunately no one does, because for some reason everything changes every week in, week out. This is what brings up debates like this, because to one ref it probably wasn't a red, to another it might have been, and that's why we need to find that streamlined thing. But I will let you know, Josh, I have seen that a stat from this game that Gladbach have had 0 shots. So
well, that whole idea of as I said, the goals in both halves was never going to happen, considering the stat you've just said. I mean, I think Atalanta have had 1 or 2 shots in this game.
Yeah, to be fair, I think they're both to blame for this. I think Gladbach haven't still. I think they need to make a change sooner or later. But as we said, to be fair, they've dealt with City defensively quite well. Like, and now they're countering. Come on.
Oh, I've got to read out some comments here, Kieran. I mean, there's a big comment in the chat. I mean, Dimski's put, glad to see sensible haircuts all around tonight.
Oh my God, we almost had a scorpion kick.
Who from?
Alassane Player. It was behind him, and he went to flick it, and it just went past the post as Zakaria's cross. Alassane Player with scorpion kick. It's probably one of them where it looks closer on telly. We'll have a look. Lovely scorpion kick. Oh no, that was very close. Just past the post. Okay, 2 subs. Players off after his scorpion kick. That's a bit of a shame. I thought I was going to tempt myself. To be replaced by Thuram. But Josh, if I said scorpion kick, who's coming on?
Is it Valentino Lazaro? I know you guess Hoffman's come off.
Let's have a look. Valentino Lazaro is coming on, and Stindl? I can't see because Stefan Leiner. So he's got in at right back.
Right back. One Austrian for the other.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, shit, of course, yeah. No, sorry, Kyle. Put it in jar. I've said it. Jar.
There's one in the jar.
Yeah.
Dubsky, glad to see sensible haircuts all around tonight, lads. Very professional. I even cut mine. This is how desperate lockdown's getting. I cut mine on my own.
Oh my God! I was about to say you've not been to the private barbers.
No. None of that stuff. We've got to comply with COVID. I cut my sides, and do you know? I think I've done quite a pretty decent job to say I'm not a fucking barber.
No, Dimsky. Honestly, mate, this is lockdown all over. So I appreciate it.
I mean, it won't be the last lockdown when we were just growing facial hair and just letting our hair grow. I'm never going to get to that stage again. Maybe for something like Movember.
I miss it. I genuinely when I had the full beard, it was just fun, wasn't it? I used to like the thinking face where you used to just. I can't do that anymore.
I feel fresh. Having it trimmed, but as I said, maybe for something like Movember, I might go down that route. And then Kyle put in the chat, Gladbach have had no shots whatsoever so far. I thought they had. Rowan then replied, Gladbach a wank. That's why, Kyle.
Oh, it's 2-0. I think you worded.
Literally, I've just put Gladbach a wank from Rowan.
Yeah, it's 2-0. And it's Gabriel Jesus, and this one is actually. I don't want to say out of nothing, but it kind of was, to be honest. There was I need to see it again, Josh, because to be honest, it was just a nothing ball. So the ball's on the right-hand side, the left-hand side, sorry, with Sterling. and then he plays it back to Cancelo, who whips another ball in towards the back post. And then Bernardo Silva, to be fair, beautiful, heads it across goal. And it's Gabriel Jesus who can just prod it into basically just past Sommer. And it's 2-0. And I think barring a miracle, this tie might be over, to be honest with you. It's not been great. But Cancelo's balls into the box, in behind the defender, bloody wonderful tonight.
Bernardo Silva, he's had a great game so far. A goal and assist?
Yeah, but that's why I'm giving credit to Cancelo, because he don't get the assist for that, but a lovely ball. And as you say, Bernardo Silva to have the wherewithal to head it across goal rather than head it at goal to bring another partner into play. It's a good goal. It's a nice goal, and it's 2-0 to Man City.
It's a shame that. It's a shame. Alexa put City getting the easy straw, the usual. Can't wait for them to get spanked in the next round as soon as they get the first tough opponent. No offence to Gladbach, and I would have put in brackets, no offence to Kyle, but they're eighth of the Bundesliga. And if City are serious about winning the Champions League, they should be doing what Bayern did and smash their opponent.
Well, yeah, I always made the defence when they got drawn that Gladbach were a better team than people gave them credit for. However, this season, they haven't been the greatest. In the Champions League, they've been very impressive, but in the league, still to this point, they haven't really got it going. And I understand there's better teams in the tournament. I genuinely thought in the home leg, sadly, it's not at home, Gladbach would give as good as they've gotten, but tonight they've just not been at it. And it proves that Man City are up there this year to challenge in most competitions, especially the Champions League.
I say it's a big one from this season. Dimsky saying, is anyone going to stop Man City's winning streak getting a bit boring? It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if one of West Ham or Wolves in the next 2 weeks stops the run. And I don't know why, but the run will surely end at some point soon. And I'll say that now, and they'll just continue on for the rest of the season and win every game possible. But I think at some point they'll drop off, I think.
Yeah. I think they're going to win the league. It's quite simple. They're going to win the league. They didn't win it last year, so they came back this year, and they've done really, really well. Spent another fucking shit ton of money. It's what they do. It's how they get successful. But it works. What can we say, Josh? It works.
It works. It works a charm. I mean, let's put. It's not that Gladbach aren't a good team, but their form has collapsed going into this game. Which I was going to say. Do you think the Marco Rose situation has caused a collapse? Because I remember saying, I think it was the stream that me and Rowan did, where, can you remember when Frankfurt announced that Kovac was going to Bayern? They did it similar style to Gladbach. They announced it before the season had finished.
Yep.
And it worked differently. For them, it worked out better because the team came together, they're united. And I remember when they beat Bayern in the Pokal final. I think it was the last game Kovac was in charge for the club. And they went on and they won it. Has it worked in the opposite respect, do you think?
I mean, I think, to be fair, they've just been on a bad run of form anyway. Maybe that is to do with the announcement. It's difficult when you're a team. And by the way, my BT's gone, so I don't know if maybe City have scored again. I'm not sure.
Maybe Gladbach have got 2 back.
Mate, don't do that to me. No. But the point of, I do think it's affected because it's hard when you're a player and you know that person that's managing you. No, he doesn't want to be there. I'm sure he's fine with finishing the job, but his head is probably ready for next year as well. Yeah. In terms of, maybe this is just a season that for me, they've done brilliantly in the Champions League. The wheels have started to fall off ever so slightly, and I agree with Alexa. The form at the moment is poor, and you've got to wait for it to turn around. But we'll have to wait for that to happen first. So they've got good players, though.
Yeah, they've got great players in the squad, and I think it will be interesting to see who comes in next as the manager. Because yet again, for the second time in a row, pretty much, they've lost their manager to Dortmund. Because Lucien Favre was the same situation. Favre went from Gladbach to Dortmund. So whoever comes in at Gladbach is going to have a big job. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody like Ralf Rangnick was the next manager. Big name, could be the type of guy to rejuvenate that squad. I mean, it's not even a case of the squad needing rejuvenating. It's just a case of somebody coming in, revitalising the players' performance and conditions, But you've already got a good squad there. You've got Zakaria, who is a brilliant player. You've got Plee, Thuram, Ginter, Elvedi. It's a great squad on paper, but Gladbach just need to go to the next level, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And Marco Rosa is a fantastic manager, and I understand why, to be fair. Gladbach fans are absolutely like, just, to be fair, I've seen a few on Twitter that are just literally like, really? If you're going to announce it, just piss off now, basically. Instead of kind of, but I understand why he wants to give it till the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see if they do stick with him till the end of the season, because they've got to get back in Europe next season. They're good enough. They're clearly good enough, but we'll just have to see what happens next year. I do think, though, I'm not a fan of managers. If mid-season, unless you're going straight away, either flirting or announcing you're leaving. I think you've got, maybe I'm just thinking, but it's like what happened with Marco Silva at Watford. The moment he flirted with Everton, form straight down, because it's hard to acknowledge that he wants to be there.
And then it's hard to motivate players to play for you when they know you're not going to be there in a few months' time anyway. I mean, it's a similar situation to hence why you don't see many players announce that they're moving clubs months before. I mean, look at Alaba, for example. I think Alaba is the best example currently right now. And Messi, because I mean, Dimsky put Messi to Man City, which we'll obviously talk about in a second. But they're two players that have kind of flirted with other clubs. But they haven't come out and said they're moving. They haven't, even acknowledged, necessarily speaking, that they are moving clubs. They've just put their heads down, focused on the club that they're currently at. And then when it gets to a later point, maybe in the season where maybe there's not much time left, or, for example, with Bayern, if they win the league early, then they announce it. Then you can put your hands up and say, that's fair. They've focused on the job at hand. Not the same with Marco Rose.
No, the thing is, though, if you watch Messi in the Champions League last week, you can tell he doesn't want to be there. And that's the hardest thing, is when someone doesn't want to be where they are. Well, I do think Rosa wants to be there till the end of the season. It's just hard for people to not care, but I just don't think. I said to you guys, I think this game is very different in alternate circumstances, with better form, and probably not the announcement that he's leaving. But you kind of play with the cards you dealt, and this is it. And you've got to put in a performance tonight. You've got to at least have a shot. I know Player had a scorpion kick, but test Edison at least, but nothing.
No, been an easy night from so far. Kyle put, don't worry, Kieran. Sevilla will smash Dortmund next time round for Rowan's traitorous behaviour. I hope City and Bayern draw each other.
Let's be honest. Fucking Rowan's only piping up because Gladbach beat him 4-2 like a couple of weeks. Imagine your new manager beating you already this season. That could never be me.
I mean, Rowan did put, I said if they had any other team, I think they could have had a shot, but City are unstoppable.
Then they're not. They're not unstoppable. They're going to get stopped eventually.
They're just very hard to beat.
They're in a spot now where they look unbeatable. I understand where he's coming from, because now they do look unbeatable. They look like Bayern back end of last season. That's what kind of force we're seeing now. But I think they are beatable. There's obviously, we saw that earlier in the season when they were okay. When they had that, I say poor start, they were still close to the title and stuff like that, but they're just on an unbelievable bit of form. And I agree, to be fair, at this moment in time, they're going to be a difficult team to beat. But you've got to give in a better performance than what we've seen today. That's my only thing, is it's okay getting beat by Man City, but they've not really troubled them at all. And that's, as a Gladbach fan, kind of disheartening, really.
Yeah, it's a shame. And I've not really said much about this game, to be honest, because it genuinely has been quite boring. I'm not going to lie. Real Madrid dominated the ball for pretty much large spells of this second half. Atalanta look quite happy to take a 0-0 draw here. No player is in the opposition's half. They're all back defending in numbers. So we're not seeing the gung-ho style I think many people have expected out of this game. I think there'll be a lot of fans out there who maybe look at Atalanta as kind of a hipster team to like right now in European football. But, if you're a hipster fan right now, you're not getting the gung-ho football that you'd expect. And as I said, I think with the way it's going, I do think this is going to end 0-0.
And it's one of them where the 10 men, I always say this, I never want an early red card because it just changes the game.
Yeah.
Completely. Unless you end up watching a 9-0, which I guess that's a little bit different. But I don't know if he's going to have a shot from Ray. It's just a useless shot. Sorry. It's just like...
No, it's all right. Not much highlights to talk about in this game anyway.
No, it was like a chance, and I could see, I think it was Hoffman eyeing up the shot, and it was just like, you're not going to score from there. Oh, my Herman, he's not going to get an upgrade. Absolutely disgraceful.
Oh, it's poor.
I can't believe it. But they've not deserved it, to be fair. They've been really poor. But Kremer's won the ball back high up the field. And we'll see. I think this is the point now where you're at 2-0 down. If you get one goal back, because you still need to score 2 at the Etihad, which is going to be quite difficult.
Be a big confidence booster, though. And if you get one in the next 5 minutes or so, you've got 10 minutes left to try and fight for another one. You know, as you said, you don't want to push numbers forward because there's still another leg to play. But get one back, and Man City might be on the ropes because I've looked, and Man City, obviously, they conceded 1 goal against Everton, which Richarlison scored, and 1 goal against Swansea. But we know they tend to keep clean sheets quite a lot this season. I do think you can get them on the ropes a little bit. Yeah,
well, this is the thing. They lead the league in clean sheets. They've got 15 so far this season, and that it's not like Man City. And Riyad Mahrez is in behind. He's broken the defensive line.
Oh,
no. Luckily the ball got held up, and he's had to go backwards. But great trickery from him, and he's kept the ball. But the danger of the attack is over, which is I'm very thankful for.
And I mean, talking about City's defence, that's why I'm so glad my entire FPL back line is just 3 City defenders.
I saw that the other day. It did make me laugh. Not gonna lie.
Why not, innit?
Yeah, do you know what? I finally came to my senses and put Cancelo in the other day, but sadly Europe doesn't count because he'd be having a great game tonight.
No, I mean, I've just looked. I didn't actually look at how many points I got. I've got 83 points this week in FPL, which is the second most out of anyone. So up City with a back line at points in the Premier League because it's just racking me up points.
I think I got 60 odd. I think something like that.
Let's have a look. Let's see what you got. This week you got 69.
Nice.
Hey, go on.
As Man City come forward, Foden lashes over the bar from a half volley. 13 minutes to go. Come on, Gladbach, or as they say in Germany, defallen. I don't know what it means.
Defallen?
It's what they tweet. Defallen.
I'll be saying coming Atalanta, but oh God, there's 15 minutes left of this, and it's just Real Madrid.
Yeah. Mariano done nothing since he came on?
No, but I can't really say any player as there's not been a definitive chance on goal, and I'm just going to say that. And watch this be a goal. Modric has got the ball, swept into the box. Very nearly went in the back of the net from his cross on accident. Goal kick.
This sums up the game, doesn't it?
Oh, well, this is a massive chance for these 2 kids. 2 substitutions. One of them is Arribas, who's coming on. And then the other player that's coming on is Hugo Duro. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about these 2 kids, so I can't really say much about them. But what an opportunity this is for 2 youngsters.
Yeah. Champions League. You know what, Josh? If one of them score, I think it's written in the stars for one of them to score. Why not?
I mean, Hugo Duro is a striker. I've just checked. He's actually on loan from Getafe in the Real Madrid Castilla side. So he's been called up from the B team for this game, on loan from Getafe. I mean, if you can go out there in a game like this and get yourself on the goal sheet, on the score sheet even, this would be one of those games where as a youngster, you'll be going back to college or wherever you're at and saying, I've scored in the Champions League game.
Yeah, I think you'll be signed permanently as well at the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just become so academic. I feel like it's the same probably for Real Madrid at the moment. It just feels like complete just domination, and it's just sad to see.
Yeah, this has now become the drill that I was saying earlier. It's just become an attacking drill for Real Madrid, which they're failing on miserably, to be honest. Yeah, I really do think, had they had Benzema tonight, I think he would have probably scored 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's what we said, though, to be fair. Atalanta, in a way, with the way the game's gone, they're so glad they're facing a depleted Real Madrid team. Yeah. Because even with 10 men, they can kind of hold their own because not everyone on the pitch is at full thingy. But Jesus and Foden are off for Ferran Torres and Kun Aguero. It's nice to see Aguero back.
Oh, wow. Aguero on the pitch. Atalanta coming forward. Gorsons. First chance I think they've had really the game to come forward here. Obviously not press many numbers up. And that kind of sums the game up. One pass from, I think it was Pessina trying to play it into the path of Ilicic. And then he accidentally touches the path of, I think it was Gorsons, because I had to play for a throw-in. So that kind of sums it up a bit. Alexis asked, are you guys doing the Europa League tomorrow? Yes, we are. We're doing the 5:55 goal show. So we'll be doing all the 5:55 games. And then straight after that, we will cover the 8 o'clock games. So we've got United, Real Sociedad and Leicester Slavia as the 2 main games. But a few of us are going to stick around afterwards and we'll cover some of the 8 o'clock kickoffs as well. Kind of like a mini goal showing between the 2 main matches. So we've got Europa League stuff covered. And then Dimski's put in the chat, Vergeben auf, which is German for we surrender.
What does defallen mean then? I'm just interested now because they always tweet it and I thought it would mean like, we follow, maybe. That seems right to me because they sound a bit like we follow. Defallen, we follow.
It's the Foals. A name given to Mönchengladbach enterprising young bucks of the 70s. Now the team's recognised nickname.
Oh, the nickname is the Foals. I never presumed that would be it. Ah, okay, there you go. I knew the nickname, but
there we go. Bit of an interesting one. Chris has put, Josh always seems to get the games with not much goals. And what was the chance that a game like this was going to be the one where it'll be, at this rate, it's looking like the only game in the Champions League so far this season?
To be fair.
That doesn't have a fucking goal in it.
To be fair, Josh, you cursed it when we went on this and you were ready to go. And you went, I've got a feeling we're going to have some good games tonight. And
fuck me. You nearly scored a goal. Screamer. No, I thought we were about to eat your words then. Tony Cruz, I think about 45 yards out, ball's flicked up by, I think it's Asensio, hits it on the volley, and you're thinking, what are you doing having a shot from there? Galini's stretching, the ball like slowly dips, and you're thinking, surely not. And in actual fact, you look at the replay, and one of the cameramen have just had to like pick up the camera and try and move it before Cruz's volleyed shot hits the camera and breaks it. Big chance, but looking back at it now, it's actually a bit further away than you expect.
I'm sorry, but João Cancelo's in straight into the arms of Jan Sommer. I would have cheered it on if it was fantasy. I would have just been like, I'll just go for it. I don't care.
FPL points, come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the other day when it just felt so dirty cheering on Luke Ayling for a clean sheet. It was Mahrez. Oh, screw it! I'm glad he missed. Get out, Mahrez.
Oh, wasn't even Cancelo.
No, he's got the same. It's the pink boots, Josh. It's the pink boots.
It is. Chris Potter said 3-2 to Atalanta, so jinx that badly. I think we all did, to be fair. Dimsky then put Kainziel, which is no goals. And Alexa says, is it fair to expect Juve to have a yard sale in the summer if they don't win anything?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see because obviously Pirlo's first year in charge. It's fair to say it's gone not great. What a ball. Hoffman, please. What a pass. Oh, my God, Newhouse. Right, he's free on the left. He's squared up Cancelo. He's cut inside. Pen! Get a fucking pen out, ref. It's not a pen. It's never
pen,
a pen.
Ref!
It was never a pen. It's just never
unlucky.
Oh, I mean, Mahrez should kick it out if he had any decency, but he decided to do a step over instead. But then Bernardo Silva's inevitably kicked it out. I think they'll go to VAR, but I doubt it.
Well, we've got 10 minutes left of this game. Real Madrid still coming forward. Not much going on at all. This has been quite a painful game to watch. I'm not going to lie. It's a shame. I'm hoping tomorrow. I've got Arsenal Benfica, which was a real shit show in that first leg. We know second legs tend to usually be better. Oh, they're saying that. Referee, no, he's waved it away. Casemiro not happy. I thought we were going to have a penalty then. I mean, Casemiro not happy. I think referee just having a talk to him saying he dived. But no penalty.
No, well, Josh, I don't think we're going to get a penalty here either, believe it or not. There's a chance. He's still injured, but they've got Peter Walton in. Peter's loving it.
Oh, Peter Walton, this is You know shit's real when Peter Walter comes in on BT.
Oh, no, he's got the earpiece. No penalty. Oh.
No penalty.
Oh.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
It's definitely a pen, in my opinion. It's most definitely a pen. I don't know how he's missed it.
Stonewall.
Yeah, definitely. I think, if I'm being honest, like he just goes to dribble past him and he just puts his body in front. That's all he does. He just puts his body in front and then Hoffman falls over. It's such a shame because they've done some nice build-up play for once, and I was all for it. And then,
one chance as well, where as we said before, put it in the back of the net gives you just that little bit of confidence. You don't know if City will switch off in the last few minutes.
Exactly. I mean, it's definitely unlikely, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice to see.
But we've got 7 minutes left of this drill. It's not even a game anymore. It's just a training drill for Real Madrid as they come forward again. And it's going to be Cruz still trying to get his way through on goal. It's just one of them where, this game on paper, you look at it, and as we said before, it's one of those where you think this is going to be a great, great match. But the red card just killed it completely.
Well, this is what we always hate about the thing. It's what you said at the start, like what you didn't want it to become what it's become. By the way, Hoffman has gone off injured. So there must have been some level of contact, but I don't think it was enough. And I'll be honest, Josh, I got some, but I just went and got some chips.
It was a Stonewall penalty, though. If he was injured, it must mean he was fouled. Therefore,
That's
penalty.
Contact, ref. Contact.
Oh, honestly.
It's so bad, isn't it, Josh? We came in tonight with, like, childish optimism, and we've been shot.
We've been absolutely shot down. I mean,
great
like the tough thing for you is the next leg is going to be quite challenging because it's 99% likely that Roman City will go on and win it. I'm quite lucky that the second leg of mine, if it stays 0-0, is still fairly open, which means both teams can go for it. And at least both teams will have 11 men on the pitch. And hopefully more than 11 fit players for Real Madrid. But Dimsky asked, what are Barcelona going to do post-Messi? Probably collapse as a club.
Put Martin Braithwaite up top and give him a 30-goal season. Yeah.
Hey, he got a brilliant 1-2 assist with Messi today. Both of them players linking up.
Yeah. Exactly. He also got a double, did Messi?
He did, and that's all down to Braithwaite being up top. Because he's an absolute tank. Going to be 2 changes for Atalanta. And this is when you know in a game like this that they're just kind of sat here to defend. Malinowski and Palomino coming on. So 1 attacking change, 1 defender coming on. I think Mihail's coming off, and I would assume Rafael Toloi probably might be the other one that comes off.
I said Palomino would come on. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't take a genius. Ben Sabani gives the ball away and then cynically fouls Riyad Mahrez, his Algerian compatriot there. There is 2 minutes left, Josh, and I'll be honest, I'm very sad tonight. To be honest, I'm eating my feelings.
Oh, well, that's going to go down well in the books. Josip Ilicic has been subbed off after being subbed on.
That is not good.
Malinowski coming on for him, which is. He's going to leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth for Ilicic.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a case, as I said, I think they're just sat here to... Oh! What a strike!
Wait a minute. What?
What a goal! Ferland Mendy! What a goal! I mean, Zidane, he's clapping. He's thinking, I don't know how we've shithoused this in the end. I mean, it's not even a shithouse, to be honest. That is the type of goal that was needed in this game. A wonder strike, some pure brilliance to win this match. He's outside of the box. He just decides, I'm going to curl it with my right foot. And it bends perfectly into the bottom right-hand corner. There's some real good curl on that. I mean, it's Roberto Carlos-esque in terms of the curl.
Oh, that is...
Yeah, on the ball. And that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Ferland Mendy. And this game finally does get a goal.
Roberto Carlos-esque.
I mean, maybe not as much bend as Roberto Carlos to get on the ball, but there was a lot of swerve on it. And that is a brilliant goal. Fair play. 1-0.
And all Atalanta's hoping for a 0-0 now is kind of fallen apart.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know whether Ilicic has picked up an injury or something. I mean, he didn't actually look too bothered to be coming off. It wasn't a case like he was frustrated or anything. So I don't know whether it's an injury or something, but they now have no strikers. I would assume, I think Malinowski is now playing as the striker in the team,
Right.
which kind of sums up how this game has gone.
They've gone all Real Madrid on him. We'll play false 9 Malinowski.
I mean, Alexa, Ilicic is not staying, he's gone down the tunnel, which is a bit of a strange one. He's walking fine, there's no limp or anything, he's just walked straight down the tunnel.
I don't know. Interesting.
So it's a weird one. I mean, Alexa's put Atalanta make a defensive sub and concede later.
Yeah.
We've ever heard that before.
Tottenham Hotspur. 3 minutes added time. We're already a minute into that now, and Kyle Walker's coming down on the right-hand side. It's 3v4. Please don't kill the tie. It's already dead. It's a shot from range. Ferran Torres, he shouldn't be doing that. He could have got forward a little bit more.
He should be doing that. That's what you want.
Well, yeah, for me, yeah. And I think it has hit Ginter in the family jewels.
Dimsky asked, can you do a stream in a foreign language?
Yes.
Yes, we will.
Bonjour, Dimsky. J'adore. J'adore le Gladbach. I presume it's just Gladbach in French, but j'adore le Gladbach.
J'adore le Gladbach.
Je suis fatigant. Means I'm tired. I'm tired of watching. Yeah, tired of watching this.
Oh God, this is the point when you kind of know these two games haven't gone well. The belief and the confidence has just slowly diminished as the night has continued on.
Yeah, I told you, if every time we got a chance, I perked up, but we've not had many chances. So,
God. I mean, we've had no attempts in the second half by Atalanta. They've had 2 attempts overall in the game. As you'd expect, Real Madrid have had 17 attempts. And the one attempt which was hit from about 25 yards out, real good goal, real quality from Ferland Mendy. And now if you're a FIFA fan, you're screaming for EA to release one of them Champions League Man of the Match cards, because he'd definitely be a player who gets it.
No. Where were they last week when Mehdi Taremi got a
Where's
double?
Giroud's?
Yeah, ignore, screw your Champions League and Europa League cards. We don't want them anymore. Because our players.
If you're not going to bring it out for Taremi and Giroud, don't bring it out for Ferland Mendy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want double standards, Josh. Anyway.
I mean, they could be forward again in Real Madrid. A few minutes left.
Oh!
A few seconds left. Oh!
Whoa! No, I saved it! Oh, that would have been gorgeous. We would have had a goal to end it off. I can't see who it was. It was a terrible back pass from Rodri, and it was 1-on-1 with the keeper just outside the box. He hits it on the half volley. It is Hannes Wolf. It was down to Edison's left. He makes a good save, good strong hand, but that's game over. 2-0. Not the worst. Well, it was. It was the worst, Josh. It was.
Yeah, it's one of them where you're looking now and you're thinking, City have got 2 away goals. Gladbach need to score 3 or 2 minimum without City scoring to take it to extra time. It's pretty much what feels like an impossible task with how City are playing right now.
Yeah, it's just a shame. I think there's a chance tonight to, I know it's difficult because they're not at home, and I don't know whether that played any part in it at all. I don't want to make excuses. But, they needed to keep themselves in the tie, and I just think it's a little bit a step too far for Gladbach.
Yeah, it's a shame for them. It's a shame. Going to be a very, very tough ask going to the Etihad. Well, depending on what happens, of course. I'd assume it's going to be at the Etihad.
We'll still believe. We'll still believe, Josh.
Exactly.
We'll be here next week. Or 2
we've
weeks.
seen special nights in the Champions League. We've said before in the past, teams going 2-3-0 down, they can't do it. They can't come back. You never know. Maybe Gladbach might be one of the teams that does it.
I mean, this might go down as one of the greatest if they went to the Etihad and won. But
I mean, with the context of how City are playing right now, absolutely. You know, if you're going to end City's winning run, depending on less West Ham do at the weekend, what a way to do it. There's a free kick for Atalanta. A minute left of the 3 minutes of additional time. This will be the first chance that Atalanta have had to come forward. And it's going to have to play for a goal kick. And that kind of just sums up the night tonight for Atalanta. I feel like, as you said, you know, they've made the changes in this game to kind of settle for a 0-0 draw. They've taken Ilicic off after subbing him on. And, you know, they've got no forwards left on the pitch. And it was just a moment of sheer brilliance from a player who I wouldn't have expected to hit one from far out, Ferland Mendy. You know, the way he's curled the ball into the back of the net, it's a brilliant, brilliant goal in the end. And I think that was the way that this game was going to kind of have a goal. Somebody needed to have just a moment of brilliance. And we got it in the end. And, you know, Real Madrid, with a depleted squad, can go home unless Atalanta score here with 20 seconds left as they're coming forward. And they can go on with the away goal and have the confidence for the second leg.
Yeah, not the most thrilling encounters, but they're probably little bits of quality that have defined who wins in the tie. And unfortunately for Atalanta, tonight was meant to be a night where they could really put their foot down, but they gave themselves an uphill battle from the start. So it's one of them.
A great kick. Last kick of the game here for Atalanta.
Bit of drama.
Come out, punched it. Now Real Madrid on the counter-attack. Real Madrid's won the game. Referee blows the whistle, doesn't give them a chance to go on the counter. And it ends 1-0 in a match where I think, I have to say, for once, Gasperini's whole tactics and his system, he's got it wrong. Yeah,
it's difficult because I think his tactics would have been completely different had they had 11 men on the pitch and they could really make impactful substitutes. But sadly, the substitutes had to be, you had to have an air of caution. And that's left it to be a 1-0 drag game, really.
Yeah, and I think he'll be very disappointed they've not come out of here with a 0-0 draw. But the thing is, the amount of opportunities Real Madrid had, it was inevitable in a game like this that I think Real Madrid would go on and score. And I think they would have had more tonight if they had more players. I think Isco was poor. I think Vinicius Junior was fucking terrible, genuinely being honest with you. I think worst player on the pitch. And Ferland Mendy, you know, he comes as the unsung hero in this match. He probably never expected to be in that form of that kind of position on the pitch to be able to hit a goal like that. But it's a real nice quality goal. And in the end, I think as much as Atalanta would have been a bit disappointed to not come out with anything, it's deserved, considering they're down to 10 men for pretty much 70 plus minutes of the match. Yeah, it was one of them. A good night for the two teams with moments of quality, but just sad night for us, really. Yeah, it's a shame. Do you know what? I mean, as I said, the good thing is this leg, this game's still technically wide open because all Atalanta need to do is get one. And then we could be going to extra time or penalties and it'd be a different situation. But who knows? Real Madrid not in the proper stadium. They're in the training ground, as you said before. So it might make for a fairly interesting game because they've not exactly had the best of luck there in the Champions League already. So it's going to be a bit nervy, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And they've not impressed many people in the Champions League, let alone me. So we'll have to see. We'll hopefully be a little more cheerful next time. We go again. Hopefully. And we go again tomorrow because we've got more content to come in the next few days on the channel. In fact, we've got more content to come tomorrow. Me, KL, and a few of the boys, that'd be Adam, Will, KD, will all be joining us on stream for the 5:55 p.m. goal show. If you didn't watch last week, the games we'll be covering will be the likes of Ajax Lille, Arsenal Benfica, Maccabi Tel Aviv Shakhtar, Red Bull Salzburg Villarreal, a whole host of different games going on. We'll be covering all of the 5:55 kickoffs. We're live then. And then we'll also be live again straight afterwards at 8 o'clock. Now, the two main games we're covering are United, Real Sociedad, Leicester and Slavia. But because we've got other games going on as well at 8 o'clock, some of us will probably stay back. And Kieran and Rowan will cover the two main games. And then we'll have a little goal show in between where we watch some of the matches going on in the background as well. So it kind of be a mixture of the two being goal shows. So that is straight after the 5:55 p.m. show. That'll be at 7:55 with kickoff of those matches at 8 o'clock. We might even have some of those other games go into extra time as well. So we could still be covering some of those 5:55 kickoffs, depending on what happens. Friday morning, a little bit later than usual. Rona will be covering the A-League mornings. Perth Glory versus Brisbane Roar. That's from 10 a.m., a little bit later than usual on Friday. Rona will then be back on Saturday afternoon, 12:25, as Manchester City look to go on a 20-game unbeaten run. That'll be against the mighty West Ham. Straight after that, 3:05, I'll be live with a real good game in La Liga. Barcelona taking on Sevilla. That should be a La Liga firecracker. And then on Saturday night, 5:20, we'll be seeing Gladbach again as they take on Leipzig. Rowan and Kieran L covering that game. Let's hope Gladbach put in a better performance next time, Kieran. And then if you've missed it, there is an interview if you're into your darts. I did an interview quite recently with Devon Peterson, the South African warrior in darts. It's a 25-minute interview that is available on the channel now if you do want to see that. The link is in the description now. But if you also want to check out another one of our links in the chat, Carl's been putting it in the stream. You can also check out our social media links. Our Twitter is @the_top corner and our Instagram is _sports corner_. You can check those two social media links out. We always tweet out when we're going live, as well as when we post our articles, which are available on our website, which is thesports-corner.com. We've got new articles available every single day. We had a ones to watch in terms of the Champions League knockout stages, which Kieran uploaded not too long ago, as well as a few pieces about Everton and the progression of their club as they look to build a new stadium, as well as another piece which was written by George about how Musiala has pledged allegiance to Germany today. So quite a few articles, Kieran.
And some of the best Champions League matches of all, like knockout ties of all time. You know, you can promote ours, Josh, but I'm going to promote yours as well if you're going to do that. So obviously, just go check all the content because it's literally something for everyone. And I tell you what, if you're looking forward to Sevilla v Barcelona, Youssef Nesyri could play a big part. Yeah.
And we've got a piece on there, haven't we?
Josh, West Ham and Sevilla play on the same day. Oh, there's double the promotion.
Double the promotion, even better for you.
Get in, love to see it.
And
anyway,
apparently there's a new quiz on there as well. While we've been live.
I'm going to do it. I've not done it. I mean, I'm genuinely interested. It's a Wikipedia game, Josh.
Oh,
a Wikipedia game. Yeah. Do you remember when we did? Yeah, fun stuff.
Good times. If you want to check that out, then there's a new quiz on there. That's just been up in the last hour and a half, so lots of new content as always. But I just want to say massive thank you tonight, Kieran. Not exactly the results that we wanted, not the dramatic games we expected. And I'd say maybe there's hope for the second legs, but is there really?
Yes. You don't stop believing, as Journey once told me. So we will continue to the second leg. And thank you, Josh, for being an incredible host and watching another shit game of football.
Well, I pray to God when we're back tomorrow, 5:55. Don't forget it. The goal show is on. Most of the Sports Corner team, bar Roman, will be there. Please. Arsenal, Benfica.
Come on.
Let's be a good game. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you're new, as always, leave a like and a subscription if you haven't already. We are pushing towards 1,900 subscribers. But as for now, have a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. And we hope to see you again soon. Good night.